And we are live. Hey, friends, this is your host Ibrahim Susiwala, and you are watching and listening to the podcast Chronic Convo. We have a very, very prestigious guest on the show today. She is a positive influencer, a therapist, and we are going to talk about a lot of important concepts, important topics that are very, very relevant to people in this world right now. And I would start with Sushant Singh Rajput and his unfortunate demise, unfortunate suicide. And how did depression play its part in this whole debacle? So Neha, can you walk us through what exactly happened with a person who is in depression?
Sure, Abraham. Actually, I want to ask you, do you know how many percentage of people are going through mental health in India?
I think it is like 40-45% of the population actually has some or the other mental health, according to some article I read some time ago.
Okay. It's exactly 7.5%,
All right. Okay.
which comes to approximately 10 crore people.
Whoa. And that's specifically for depression?
Specifically for mental illness. It's
All
like
right. Okay.
kuch na kuch problem hai, and they have registered they have a problem.
All right. Okay.
So
Okay.
imagine.
Whoa. That's a huge
And
number.
10 crore people, and we just know the number, and they don't get their treatment done properly just
Right.
because they are scared to call as pagal.
Oh, okay. So there's a stigma in the society, and because of that, they're actually not going ahead with any kind of treatment. That's what you're trying to say.
Exactly. So
Oh.
that's how depression starts. So when
Uh-huh.
it's in the stage one, you're not reaching to people, you're not talking to people, you're not going to doctor
Right.
for the just for the one word ki people might call me pagal.
Uh-huh.
And that's how it increased to that stage where I guess Sushant Singh Rajput, we don't know the details yet, but yes, it might be possible कि जो बहुत ज़्यादा depression में आ जाए तो वो लोग suicide कर सकते हैं.
Right. Sorry to start
So
with
he
such
gave
a dark topic first and foremost, but it's such an
yeah.
important topic, and everyone should get some education on that. So I just want to start and pitch the whole thing right away. Yeah, you were saying something. I'm sorry.
No, definitely, because people give lot of importance to physical health. For
Right.
example, if your like arm is paining, they go to the doctor, they go to the
Right.
physiotherapist.
Right.
If you get hurt, you आप Dettol लगा लेते हैं, आप उसको तुरंत ठीक कर लेते हैं. But what about mental illness?
Right. Right.
They don't know many of the mental illness are cured only. Just for example, cancer. Yeah, you
Right.
must have heard cancer is like healed only through willpower.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So willpower is mental fitness.
All right. Okay.
So they don't understand major disease can be cured by mental fitness. So
Okay.
mental fitness is much more important than physical fitness.
Okay. Okay. That's true. I
So
totally agree with that. So on the podcast, we have actually discussed on an individual podcast. I actually discussed depression, and because I had already spoken to three well-renowned psychiatrists in our city, and they were very grateful with that time. So they gave me like 20-25 minutes time. So I was just talking to them, and they told me that people do not understand and differentiate depression and feeling low. Both of the things are very different, and so people are just thinking, if for example, if a person does commit suicide, people again think that what kind of a weak person was he, that he was not able to just get himself out of the house or just get himself cheered up or something like that. But it's completely different. It's really difficult. Whoever is depressed, they really need help from someone else so that they can actually get out of depression. That's what he told me. So yeah, I mean, the willpower does make a lot
definitely.
of sense. Yeah, I mean, yeah, go ahead.
So see, I want to tell you one thing. There's a word called hypochondriac.
All right.
So hypochondriac people don't know about it. For example, right now Corona is going on.
Mm-hmm.
So hypochondriac is a feeling, extreme feeling that you already have it. So
Mm-hmm.
people are scared.
Mm-hmm.
If they know, if they even sneeze, if they even cough, they feel, oh, I've got corona, I've got
Oh,
corona. They
anxiety.
feel low, I've got depression, I've got depression. Sometimes they react, I got anxiety attack, I got anxiety attack. So
Right.
hypochondriac is a situation they feel they have it.
Uh-huh.
but still they don't have it.
Right. Right.
So right now, major of the people are suffering from this only.
All right.
Just because, and they should know, they should see statistics key in the world, how many people got corona, hardly 1 or 2%. So you're not that
Mm-hmm.
much unlucky.
Mm-hmm.
And secondly, you can take precautions. And before, in a year, you used to get 5 times cold and flu. So
Right.
you were not scared that time. So why are you scared right now?
Right. Right.
And if you see depression also, people feel extremely low or extremely overthinking situation where they're unable to see the world, unable to feel the thoughts, and unable to
Right.
decide what is right. You have not got into that stage.
That's
So
right.
how can you feel you have it until and unless you get it checked?
That's right. Hell, I'll give you an example of the active cases that are going on. So, for example, my sister is really hooked up to the mainstream media and all the news that has been shown on mainstream media. And I think mainstream media is doing a very bad promotion of the whole thing, and they're not giving the right figures. They're not showing the positive side of it at all. So, for
Exactly.
example, my sister came to me, and so she stays in Dubai, and she called me and she told me that you don't go outside. Surat is really, really burning up with a lot of cases of coronavirus. And I told her that how many total cases are there in Surat? So at the time, I think it was 2,800 cases or something that were total cases. And I said, how many active cases are going on right now in Surat? And she did not know the figure. I told her it's 900 cases. 900 cases in a
Yeah.
city of more than 60 lakh, more than 50 lakh people, right?
Mhm.
So the probability of me getting coronavirus is very less. And it's not like even if I get coronavirus, I'm going to die. It's not like that. Hell, it's not even like
Exactly.
that for even the high risk individuals. A person of 103 years actually survived coronavirus in Italy. So if they can do
True.
it, I mean, it's not something that will kill you instantly. There are treatments as well now. There are certain medicines that have been introduced into the market that will actually help you out with coronavirus. So getting this anxiety is very common because the news has been presented in that manner. And so, yeah, I mean, you are spot on with that. You're spot on with that when you say that people are not understanding the statistics and they are not taking that in properly. Right on the
Yeah.
cue.
So
Yeah.
it can be prevented through precautions. Wash your
Right.
hand, wash yourself well,
Hmm. Hmm.
and just don't touch anything in, like, whenever you go out. We all are educated and we can
Right.
take few precautions.
That's
That's it.
right. That's right.
To get scared. Again, mental illness. Getting
Right.
scared is mental illness. Getting corona is physical illness. And again, it can be cured by mental health.
Right.
If you're so much confident about yourself that I have good immunity, I will go through it. It's okay. It will pass. I will survive definitely because I am young. I'm dynamic. And like, I swear you'll survive. It's
Right.
all here.
It's right here. Right. So here's the story. I was in Dubai in March, and government of India announced that they are going to start quarantining everyone who is coming out of any other country into India. And so I had to rush back to India on 17th of March. And I came to India and I observed my 14 days of self quarantine in my house. It was really hard for a person like me. I actually have previous history of anxiety attacks while I was young. I was in my childhood. So there was a lot of bullying that was going on. And because of that, I had some cases of anxiety attack at the time. And it never really bothered me in my adulthood. But while I was in quarantine and I'm a super hyperactive guy, I need to move around. I cannot stay stationary for more than 30 minutes. And so while I was in
Mm.
quarantine, for the first 4 days, it was all fine. I was completely positive. Everything was fine. And from the fifth day, everything went downhill for me because now I was feeling suffocated in the room. I actually did not open the window for whatever reason for 4 days. And so all the carbon dioxide was building up within the room, and because of which I was feeling suffocated. And at the time, there was not enough knowledge around for what does coronavirus do and how to detect it. Everything,
True.
everything that happens to you was basically a symptom of coronavirus, according to the news. So, I mean, I started getting panic attacks. I started getting anxiety. But over time, what I did was I just left the whole fear of getting coronavirus. If it's going to happen, it's going to happen. It's not something I can stop. If I already have it, it is going to show up, and I just need to fight that. I just need to fight that. So I got into that positive mentality, positive mind space, and that really helped me. But there are so many people in my own circle, social circle in India and outside India as well, who have one person in my group actually tried to commit suicide, had domestic violence cases filed against him by his wife. That's in US. So a lot of things have happened during this lockdown. I mean, it's really bad. It's really bad. So have you actually encountered such cases during the lockdown?
Yes, definitely. You know what? First of all, I'm proud of you. You have that courage to talk it out.
Oh,
Again,
fine.
people don't have courage to talk it out, that what they are feeling and what they went through and how they came out.
Right.
They don't understand ki if they will share, others will get motivated that it's
Exactly.
normal.
That's right.
It's like you cannot define it. You have a lot of money, you cannot get that, you cannot get into depression. But sure, so
Right.
you can't have problems in your life. So
Right.
you cannot define anyone by their category or anything, that she or he cannot have depression or anxiety attack. So first
Right.
of all, kudos to you that you came out with your problem and solution.
Well, thank
In
you.
lockdown, many of people called me and asked me that Neha, we are facing so many problems with our husband, with our in-laws, with our parents. You know, they are talking so much about me. I am not like that. Why this anger is growing? Anger, frustration,
Right.
and feeling to do suicide.
Right.
These
Confinement.
three were
Right.
the most common problem. Yeah, I came, and I was like seeing in the lockdown period. So people are calling me, asking me what to do, what to do, what to do. So I can actually give you few solutions right now, that if you apply this, you can do it. Like you can get over it.
Right.
How, first I have to ask you how you got over it. I really
So,
want to know.
all right. So here's the thing. I used to have a lot of problem with anxiety attacks, as I said, in my teenage. So say 13, 14 years of age I was. And at that time, a lot of people were trying to bully me. Uh, yeah. So we're back. We were discussing how actually I got over my anxiety. And so
Yeah.
at the age of 13 and 14, I was really subject to a lot of bullying in school by various groups of people. And because of that, actually, I was really scared of doing anything. I was not socializing with anyone. I was just staying alone. I was always threatened. I always became very defensive every time anyone asked any kind of question to me. So even if my parents asked me some question, a very simple question, why are you here? Why are you not at tuition today, for example, just an example, I would get super defensive, even though I might have a valid reason to that, but still I will get super defensive. And at certain point of time, I just felt like I need to stop this. I need to get my shit together, and I need to find a solution to whole thing. And first thing, of course, that comes to your mind is fight back. You need to fight back. But how does a kid fight back? It's very hard, and I don't think so anyone actually understood what I was going through. And all the tantrics and everyone of this world come into the foray, because everyone thinks that you don't have anxiety. Everyone thinks isko kuch exorcism wala hua hai, mata aa gayi hai, ya kuch ho
Yeah.
gaya hai. And these things start happening. So I was going through something like that, and it's not anyone's fault because they are not educated enough about that. But the first thing that I did was I started controlling my breath. What I figured out was that every time I was having anxiety attack, I was not breathing. And so whenever I got certain attack, I would leave everything behind, and I will just concentrate on my breathing. Just sit down wherever you are, start breathing, start breathing, start breathing. Then I got,
Very true.
yeah, and then I got into sports, because that really gives you a different kind of perspective, a positive perspective. So I was in team sports of football, in which I played pretty well for a long time. And then I got into boxing, and that changed my whole life, because now no one can actually intimidate me, because I can beat 5 guys at one time. That's how it was. So yeah, that's how I got
Confident.
through that. And See, I have always been alone, and in my mind, I have always trained myself to think like, no matter what happens, no matter how many people consider themselves to be your friend, in the end, in your own life, you are going to be alone, and you need to fight your demons right now. Because if you don't fight your demons right now, they will chase you till eternity. That's always what I think. And so I just came over that, and obstacle after obstacle, there are so many problems every day for each and every human being. I take each and every problem one thing at a time and try to solve them. And this anxiety attack during the lockdown was just basically the same thing for me. It's a problem, I need to find a solution, and that's all. That's what I got. That's what I got. Yeah.
Great, great. That's great. So you like you were courageous enough to get it by yourself, like
That's
get
right.
it done by yourself, help yourself.
That's
But
right.
there are many people who are not able to help themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So for them we have some solutions that if you apply this,
Mm-hmm.
it will help you.
Right.
So first
Right.
of all, very easy thing I tell you, you have a water bottle with you.
Full.
Yeah. So I want you to hold it straight like that with your arms straight.
Like this.
You're
That will do.
boxing champ, so I guess yeah. Very easy for you, I guess.
Right. Tell me. All right. I need to
Keep
hold it for.
holding it.
Oh
Enjoy holding.
boy, this is going to take a while. So you can start talking about something else.
Okay, okay, I can do that.
Because I
You're
train
so
for
much
this.
confident
I
because
actually, I actually train for this. I actually hold dumbbells. I hold 6 or 7, 10
so
kgs dumbbells.
I have to wrong. So
I'm
for how
sorry to
much time we can hold it?
I can hold it for like 20 minutes, 25 minutes. That's completely fine. You can go ahead. I'll hold it on the
Okay.
camera.
So
Don't worry.
after 25 minutes, what will happen?
It will get a little bit weaker. I might need some rest on that. And then I can go again for another 25 minutes.
No, but if you won't get any rest.
All right. So if I don't get any rest, my hand will start spasming. The muscles will go weak. It will start shaking. And sooner or later, I'm going to drop the bottle. Sooner or later, I'm going to drop the bottle. That's what's going to happen.
No, but then I'm telling you have to hold it for a whole day.
Depends on my willpower then, and I back my willpower a lot. And if I
You
concentrate on
think
that, I
you
think
think you can hold
probably. I
whole
don't know.
day?
I don't know. I'm not going to challenge you on this. Come on.
So after whole day, what will happen? Will your hand will work?
I think it will paralyze for sure. I think
Exactly.
there won't be any
Exactly.
blood circulation in the hand, so it is going to go temporarily limp for at least some time, right?
Now you can keep the bottle. I know there's no meaning of holding it for 25 minutes, I guess.
I can do that. No worries.
So, but so Abraham, for holding for one day, for you,
Hmm.
like if I hold it for even for 5 minutes, my hands get weak and it shakes.
That's
And
right.
after 10 minutes, I'm not able to write anything.
Right.
That's how hard it is for me.
Right.
So for some people can hold it for 20 minutes and some like you can hold it for an hour. But
Right.
ultimate result will be definitely hand paralyzed.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So imagine just because it is your physical fitness, you drop the bottle. You will
Right.
not hold it.
Right.
Anyone in the world will drop the bottle after some point or the other. But what about mental illness? You carried that bullying since how long?
Oh, it's long,
And
long
in
enough.
the long so in the lockdown period also it came back.
Right. It's
So
an anxiety.
imagine,
Right. It's
yeah. So
anxiety. Yeah.
that is only thing of mental illness.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how anxiety created. If
Right.
you would have thought in the first place when you got bullied that let's drop it
Mm-hmm.
because holding it will harm me, will harm my mind, it will make my mind paralyzed, not the other's mind. It
Right.
will definitely not harm you.
Right. Right.
You're thinking about bullying, it will harm you, not
Mm-hmm.
the people who called you something or not your parents, not your family, any member. It will harm you and only you. So
Right.
if that day, right now, everyone has this knowledge that if I drop it right now, it will be all right. And if I
Right.
carry it forward, it will definitely get paralyzed in the form of anxiety attacks,
Right.
depressions, and
Right.
many forms.
Right. All branches
So
of it will come out then.
exactly.
Right.
So people tell me that now, whenever I think something, I think, oh God, I'm carrying a bottle, which is of
Right.
no use,
Right.
and they drop it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's
Mm-hmm.
how I drop things.
All right.
Whenever somebody tells me something, I don't want to carry it even for 1 minute. I can carry for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, nothing will happen. But after
Right.
that, I think, no, it's enough. It's not
Right.
healthy for my mind.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So you should be, you know, how you're so much careful for your physical fitness, you're
Right.
dropping it by your hand. You should be that much careful for your mental illness. It's
That's right.
simple as that.
That's right. So, to all the listeners who are listening to this wonderful personality, I would like to introduce her first and foremost, because I have not done that. And this is the way I actually start my podcast: get hooked to the podcast, and then we will introduce the guest. So, Neha Chaudhary slash Agarwal, whatever you might prefer, is on the podcast. She is a positive influencer. She's an NLP, an entrepreneur. She is also an Access Bar trainer. So please explain what is Access Bar trainer first and foremost. That's something I'm really curious about.
Okay. So Abraham, access bar is basically you have 32 points in your head
Uh-huh.
about, about your thinking. Like if you're thinking about money, if you're thinking about friends, you're thinking about creativity, you're thinking about future, you're thinking about past. So there are different points which has one meaning in
Mm-hmm.
your head.
All right.
Because of that, think so much about any topic in the world.
Right.
So pressing that 32 points with verbal commandments is
Mm-hmm.
called access bars.
All right.
So if you do that, the person like who is getting access bar done will forget everything, overthinking or thinking about anything or depression or anxiety. Any damn thing can be cured by access bar.
Okay. Okay.
Only by pressing it and giving verbal commandments. You're
All right.
just making it blank.
All right. So
So
there's a
if
science
people ask
behind
me,
that. There's a science
exactly,
behind that. Right.
there is no logic.
All right.
So
Okay.
if you say कि how is it possible? अगर आपको if you know how is it possible, do it by yourself, na? Stop
That's true.
thinking.
That's true. Have you heard of Elon Musk? Do you know who's Elon Musk?
Not really.
All right, I'll give you who is Elon Musk, because in India a lot of people don't know, but he is one of the richest person on earth. He is the owner of Tesla cars. He is the owner of Tesla cars, and he is the owner of SpaceX. So the latest rocket that was actually sent to space station by America, that was actually made by his company. Yeah, so Elon Musk is basically, he is our generation's Einstein, a person like Einstein basically. So a lot of people don't know because he is very shy and he does not come out in public a lot. But he is working on a chip, a small chip that they are going to insert into the minds of human beings, and that chip is
Okay.
first and foremost going to repair all the damages that you might have neurologically. So any neurological damage that you might have in your mind, in your brain, it's going to repair that. And secondly, it's going to make your mind 10 times more efficient. And he's going to do that in next 5 years. That's what he says.
Wow.
Yeah, you should research that. I mean, Elon Musk is a household name in US and in North America, but for whatever reason, Indians don't actually think of him. All his papers and dissertations and everything is really helpful. He has a very good analogy as well. So he was asked that, do you think that humans will become cyborgs? Cyborgs are part humans, part machine. And he told that humans are already cyborgs. Mobile is part of your body. When you don't have your mobile phone in your hand, basically you feel incomplete these days. So he has that
Very
analogy,
true.
and he says that yes, humans are going to eventually become cyborgs, and this chip is going to be the first thing that he is going to start with. So he's going to make this chip in next 5 years. He's going to put, so there will be a hole in your skull, and he's going to insert this chip into your brain. Just think about that. The person is incredible. So I think there might be some access bar training that might be going into this chip as well. You should look it
No,
up,
no.
trust me.
I'll tell you what. Here it comes NLP. So
Uh-huh.
NLP is neuro linguistic programming.
That's right.
Neuro, again, that neurons in your brain, which Elon Musk is talking about, the chip,
Elon,
your
yeah.
neurons. So what happens, Abraham? Basically, in computer, whatever data you store, however you program it, it works in the same way.
Uh-huh.
So we also have neurons in our brain, dots, many dots. And since birth, we come across many things and many situations. And
Right.
that's how we program our brains.
Mhm.
Like some program their brains that I'm very introvert, I cannot talk with people, I
Right.
am not able to how people communicate, it's so difficult, and that's how programming is done. And
Right.
some people program, I'm very outward, I can talk anything, I'm loud, I'm confident. There is
Right.
also one kind of
Right.
programming. And
Right.
some people program themselves that I have an inferiority complex, I do not look good, I can't
Oh,
see people face, they are so beautiful, and these all are programming.
those kind of people then.
So I think, no, I think Elon Musk wants to change that programming, and that we do through NLP, neuro
um,
linguistic programming.
right. See, his main motive is not to change the programming. What he's trying to do is first and foremost use this chip for medical purposes. So there are a lot of people who have problems with the spinal cord, and so he's going to put this chip in so that the electromagnetic waves that are passing through your spinal cord will be reactivated by the machine. There will be certain wires as well that will be put in. So it's really complex, and I'll send you the link. You just listen to him,
Yeah.
and I'm pretty sure you will have a better idea. And it's something that you should know, and it's something that will be revolutionary in coming times. So yeah, I mean, that's I'm going to send that. But that's what he's trying to do. The second thing that he's trying to do, he actually said the chip will be similar to RAM in computer, random access
Mm.
memory that we use in computer. So if you have 4 GBs of random access memory in your computer is always ready with 4 GB worth of memory, 4 GB worth of data. So for example, if your hard disk is say for 300 GBs, just to give you an example, it's 400 GBs, gigabytes worth of data is stored on your hard disk, and you have a RAM of 4 GB. The computer is going to
Okay.
take some time to process that 100 GB at time, because it can only
True.
process 4 GB right now. So if you,
Mm.
for example, randomly, if you click on some app or some application on your computer, and that app and that information on the app is already stored in the 4 GB of random access memory, then it's going to open fast in your computer. Just like that.
Oh yeah.
Right. Just like that, if you click on another application and it is not stored on the random access memory, then RAM is going to process through the whole of the 96 gigabytes that are remaining, and it's going to find that program, and then it's going to process that. So he
Give
said
it a
that,
lot of time.
yeah, your mind is just like that. It has thousands and thousands of gigabytes worth of data, and your mind cannot process it at a time. So this chip is going to process it 10 times faster than it usually does. That's the reason
Wow.
that you actually forget things, because you
Yeah.
forget about certain things, and then you start to recollect about them in some time, because your mind is actually trying to process that data that you have stored somewhere else in your mind. So that's what he's trying to do. I'm going to send this link. I'm not going to actually go ahead with too
Definitely,
much
it's
of
like
it.
totally like my topic.
Yeah, exactly, it's your topic, and I'm pretty sure that someone or the other from your fraternity, from your professional fraternity, is involved in this project. I'm pretty sure about that.
Definitely,
Yeah, so I'll
definitely.
send you the link. Going back to what we were talking about, bullying, while I was talking about bullying and my experience with bullying, actually I did a campaign for 3 years in which I was talking to various parents of schools. I was gathering these crowds of parents. So both father and mother need to attend my session so that I can tell them my story, and maybe they can actually help their kids out, because this is something that our parents are not aware about in India. There is bullying. It will scar
Yeah,
your
true.
child. It will scar your child for lifetime, and it will have very bad ramifications in most of the cases. And so there is a lack of confidence, like we were talking off air that you were telling me something about Instagram and image complexities that people have, and how it goes, and what how it affects even in depression. Go ahead, please explain something like that to our viewers and listeners.
So there is a word called FOMO, fear of missing out.
Okay. Okay.
This is a trending disease in the youngster like in our generation. So you're using Instagram, I'm using Instagram, we
Right.
are working right now, we are doing podcast, some people are doing live sessions, few people are putting couple pictures, few people are putting cooking like food pictures, that I've cooked this, I can cook that, I've become chef in lockdown. And so everyone is up to something. But what about few people who are not up to anything. So it creates a FOMO, fear of missing out, that
Right.
everyone else is doing something or the other. What am I doing at home? I'm doing
Right.
nothing. I'm cooking nothing. I'm
Right.
working nothing.
Mhm.
I think I should not live in this world. So
Okay.
that's how the thought ends.
It comes to
So
that. So
there
basically,
comes
you
the
feel
thought.
useless because you are seeing everyone
Exactly.
being
And you
active.
create a, and instead of that, you create a pressure on yourself. You
Mhm.
make your husband click picture with you. You have to post something. So there's a
Right.
pressure of getting post
Right.
picture. There's a pressure of putting a picture. And after that, realizing it that actually we are not like that.
Right.
So there's a pressure you have posted. But
Right.
after that, you realize that this is not us.
Mm-hmm.
This is
Mm-hmm.
not what we share in our real life.
Right. Right.
So it's creating, there's a word called feedback loop from hell.
Okay.
You're
Feedback loop from
going, you're
hell.
going,
Okay.
you're going.
Loop.
Yeah,
Loop.
feedback loop from hell.
All right.
Loop.
Loop. Yeah.
You're clicking picture, you're posting, you're not happy
You're
about the
clicking another.
situation, you're
Yeah.
saddened about it. You have posted wrong picture because it's not your relation. Again, you go to FOMO. Then you
Right.
see some other picture, then
Oh.
you post your picture, and it
Right.
goes and goes.
Oh boy. It's a
And
vicious
there it
circle.
creates
It's a
very
vicious
bad.
circle.
It's
Oh,
it, like in starting, it's okay, but if it continues, and so you're ruined. Your life is ruined.
that's right. That's right.
Your
So
relationships are ruined.
the reason I actually told you to explain this thing to our listeners was, well, I wanted to connect it with the bullying part. Now, people who are bullied, one thing is always common: they always feel left out from everything. They always feel weak. They are weak actually, and they always feel left out because everyone they approach is basically bullying them out of that situation, bullying them out of that various environment, right? So because of that, social media has become the place for everyone to feel something worthy of getting happiness. Even though they might not be happy, they are posting all these happy faces, and because of that, even the other people who have gone through bullying and into anxiety, they actually feel like, oh my god, I'm still so sad, and that person who also used to be bullied is so much far ahead of me. I mean, so the problem starts over there. I tried to
Exactly.
talk to parents. And I told them that you need to look after your children. You need to look after what's happening with them. Start talking to them every evening about what's going on at school. Don't talk about studies. Talk about what happened with your friends. What did you do in extracurricular activities? That will help. And here's the mind-boggling thing: 33% of the parents still listen to me. 77 just said it's part of life. It's part of life. They don't even
Oh,
bother.
really?
They don't even bother. What happened was one parent actually told me, this is Indian heritage. This is how I want my kid to get roughed up on road so that he will learn it hard way. And I said, that time has gone by, when people were still
Yeah.
friendly enough, and other parents were coming to the aid of your children. That's not going to happen these days. Everyone has their own work. They are very busy with their own work, and they are not going to take care of your children. Try to start working with your children. Try to develop their mentality in a proper manner so that they don't go out and bully someone. That's the first part. And if your kid is getting bullied, you need to act right now, or else it's going to have a very long term scarring effect on your son or your daughter's personality. And we have seen it all over the time. So today I'm 29 years of age. I did this campaign when I was 19. I was 19 years of age. So all the kids that
Oh,
I was actually looking towards, excuse me, looking towards, that they were actually being bullied. Today I can see them lose confidence in themselves. They don't have the self confidence. They're coming to me because I was always friendly to them. So even today they are coming to me for some advice, right? So basically I was looking out for them, but temporarily. I can't be 24 hours available to them, right? This is something that has to come up, and this is something I hope that you can actually pass a message on through this platform. So please go ahead.
won't believe it, but I do it. It's like, okay, I'll tell you something. So I have taken up public speaking course in some schools in Ahmedabad. So there's a 5-day course.
Mm-hmm.
So like already I've taught 500 to 1,000 kids about it. So first stage, removal of stage fear, communication skills, then how to speak in front of public. So what happens that I want to build confidence like in the class of 8th, 9th and 11th standard itself, so that whatever happens to them, bullying or any other thing, sexual abuse or anything,
Right.
I am teaching that how to talk.
Right.
You can't be quiet. This is not the world to be quiet right now.
Mm-hmm.
If parents don't listen to you, then also you need to go and talk to them that I have a problem. Don't expect them to come and ask you what is the problem.
That's right.
So I am building a level of public speaking confidence, so that talking about these things becomes very usual to them, very normal to them. So you won't believe it. So last stage, I take up kids to the stage, auditorium stage, and everyone comes there and they have to speak about any topic given to them.
Right.
So I was shocked. One girl came up and talked about rape. So being in 11th standard, and she just bursted out saying that how can you do it? You can't do it with your mother and sister. How can you even look to girls about it? And she called someone and asked that, tell me, if you see a red dot in girl's skirt, what you will do? 11th standard girl asking. And that boy stood up and said, I will definitely give my jacket, or show her the way of washroom.
Right.
So I am just making a point that they need to talk about everything, be it bullying, be it rape, be it confidence, be it anything, any problem they are facing right now.
Right.
So that much confidence. This is my project. This is a project a very, very near to me, because I want to work with children. अगर उनको इस एज में 9th and 11th standard के एज में confidence दे दिया जाएगा, they can never be bullied. They can never go to depression. They can never feel anxiety attack.
That's right.
Because that is the age they can be nurtured.
Right. That's right.
I've already done it so many kids, and I'm going to do it in whole Ahmedabad, anyhow, in whole India, I guess.
You should do it. You should do it. There are not enough people who are actually doing this activity, and I really commend you to do that. And that you should go to each and every school, as many schools as possible. Start making a team who can actually go out and explain, counsel students individually as well as in groups, because this is something this is a real pandemic that's taking place everywhere in the world, not just in India, but everywhere. The thing, see, this is something that I was discussing with one of my professor. Modesty. No one ever explains what is modesty to children, and it's not something that you need to explain to only girls. It is something you also need to explain to guys, that what is modesty, why is it important, how should you behave in public. These things matter, but these things are never given. See, this is something that has been very well outlined by the professor, that there is a lot of expenditure that is happening on sex education in our country. The government itself is actually funding the sex education. They are not giving enough education for modesty. They are not giving enough education to the youngsters to how to live your life, how to behave, the social science that is required to be educated to these kids. That's not available in our education system. So these things should be done. For example, happiness index. No importance to happiness index. When you go to Finland, when you go to Sweden, these countries are actually working. They are regulating their working hours and everything on the basis of happiness index. In school, they are actually giving kids a nap hour so that they can have a nap and they can be happy. Because when you are happy, you are learning more. When you are learning more, you are open. Your mind is open much more. These things should be taken care of. And I want you to think about that as well while you are actually pursuing this whole thing.
Definitely. So I work with everyone, if I say. Like if I teach kids also few things, so I take parenting in the same school.
Right.
You cannot teach only the one side. It's both the side.
Right.
So I take parenting in the school also, that have you ever asked your children that how was your day? Instead of asking ki kya padhaya?
Exactly.
Kitna homework kiya?
Exactly. That's my point. You
ask, how was your day? Did you feel anything? Did you help? No, the one point I really request all the parents listening to it, ask your children, did you help someone?
Right.
Every day you need to ask.
Right.
So that they have a mindset that, okay, today I need to help someone. So it will create a habit. There's a process of creating a habit. And that only parents can do with their children.
Right.
And if they help someone daily, you imagine they will never ever do wrong with any girl or any boy.
That's right.
Bullying or sexual abuse or degrading anyone, because they have a habit of helping someone.
Right.
So only two pillars can create the world. Parents also play an important role, children also play. So that's how happiness index can be built by parents. And
Right.
from like teachers, when I do in the same school, I do teachers training also.
Right.
So I request them also that at the end of the session, at the end of the class, ask them how happy you are.
Right.
What made you feel happy learning this? Like, did this lesson made you happy, or you were like sad, or you didn't feel anything?
Right.
So that's how I'm trying to bring the change in very deep level. I am already trying to do it, like my level best.
Right. So there are 6,800 female listeners to this podcast, according to the last episode. So I'm going to request all of them to first and foremost take this knowledge as a priority in your life. A very wise person actually told me that educating a guy will educate that guy. But if you educate a girl, she's going to educate the whole family. This is something that a very, very wise person told me. So you need to start educating girls so that they can actually educate their parents, their brothers, their sisters, and also their kids, their husband, and even their in-laws. So much education can be spread out if the girls of this world, the females of this world actually start.
Girls and Abraham, they look up to you.
Exactly.
They, if your parents do something, you also feel like doing something. For example, I teach these kids. So there were a group of kids, 5 to 6 kids, who came up to me and told that we want to do the same thing you do, ma'am, in the municipal schools.
Okay.
I was like, you are in 11th standard. And they were like, we want to do it, ma'am. Just give us the curriculum. And we already have a team of 6 and we will do everything for them we can. And then I realized how did it came up, because I was there with them all the 5 sessions, teaching them modesty, teaching them public speaking, teaching them to help others. And that's how that was built inside them.
That's right.
So a one person can inspire thousands of people. And that's how you make a life worthy, I feel.
Right. Neha,
If one person also comes up and says that.
Yeah, Neha. If people want to find you for counseling, how can they find you? How can they get in touch with you? Can you tell that?
Yeah, so I have a page in Instagram, Shades of Life.
Okay.
SHADESSSS, 2S because I didn't got the name.
All
_of_life.
All right. So people can come on that. So let me share that actually. I think I can do that.
Yeah.
So what's this Shade of Life all about?
Shades of Life is about, in the life you have lots of shades of yourself. Like gray, white and black. So you have a good part in you, you have a bad part in you, you have a hidden part in you. So it might be your hidden talent or hidden secrets, or it might be your hidden fears. So I cover all the shades of life. So you can come up to me and you can ask a solution for any shade you're going through.
So this is the page, right?
Yeah. That's the way. That's so beautiful.
Everyone, this is Shades of Life. Whoever is listening to the audio podcast, I'm just going to spell it out. So it's SHADESSS_OF_LIFE. That's Shades of Life. You can find it on Instagram. You can follow it. And can they message you? Can they DM you on Instagram? Neha?
I will definitely reply.
All right. Okay. So they will DM. You can DM Neha, and she will definitely reply to your queries. That's a great initiative, Neha. That's a great initiative. What else are you doing these days? How's the whole coronavirus going for you while you are stuck in Surat rather than in Ahmedabad?
No. I'm not stuck in Surat. It's voluntary. I can't do Surat. So I was in Ahmedabad in the whole lockdown. And yes, I also went through so many, I'll be very honest, so many emotional lockdown and emotional breakdowns that why this is happening to me, what is going on, when this lockdown will get over. But then, those things which I teach people, it helped me a lot. I'll tell you something, Abraham. If there's a word called empathy.
Right. Empathy.
You know about it?
Yep.
Definitely you must be knowing about
Yep.
it.
Yep.
So if you go on a road and you see a dog lying down and you don't feel anything, just move away. It's called apathy.
All
You
right.
don't have any feelings and sentiments, anything. So, but if you see a dog lying on the road like hurt and you say, oh my God, this dog is hurt, he's looking so bad, and you go away.
Right.
That is called sympathy.
Sympathy. Right.
You have feelings, but that is of no use. Where did it went?
Right.
So
Right.
now you see the dog, you call the like hospital and you make sure that someone
Yeah.
comes and
Vet comes in.
keeps the dog and takes it away. So that's called empathy.
Right.
So today, if the world becomes a place of empathy and we try to help each other, if I am going through a mental breakdown, then also if someone calls me up and asks me that how can you help me, I'm going through this, I'm ready to help. I'm explaining them, see, don't overthink, use this technique, use that technique. So ultimately, if I'm giving empathy, it will help me also.
Right. Right.
So वो जो बात थी ना, teach what you preach, what you teach, and
Right.
all that skills that
Right.
if you do it, then only you teach it.
Right.
This is
Gone.
over.
Right.
Even if you don't do it, teach it. You will build
Right.
in yourself. Definitely one day. So I should not say that, but Mahatma Gandhi used to have cigarettes, but then he used to teach people that don't have it, don't have it. But then too, he was called as Mahatma Gandhi.
Right.
So you can at least teach people, and then you can by yourself. You will definitely leave it one day.
Right. I actually remember it. Was it Lord Mahavir who actually had this kid who used to come to him with his mother, and his mother used to tell that my kid eats a lot of sweets. You need to tell him to leave all that. So he used to tell him next week wapas leke aao. So bring him after another a few days, and after few days, after like 10 or 12 days, he told the kid, don't eat sweets. And everyone asked him, why did you take 12 days so that to just say something like this simple? So he told that first I need to leave my habit of eating sweets so that I can actually tell the kid that leave the kid so sweets, right? I mean, yeah, so there is truth to that. And people
There's
like,
also one viewpoint. So that is also one viewpoint.
right.
So Abraham, I believe सब अलग होते हैं, गलत नहीं होते.
Right. Okay.
So I cannot stop helping myself by saying यार नहीं I तो don't do it, I don't follow it, how can I suggest someone? So that's stopping myself also, and I'm not able to help others also.
Right.
Viewpoints.
Right. Right.
So someone can actually apply it and then suggest it, and someone can directly suggest it, and with time they will definitely apply it.
See, this is a very interesting thing that just you said right now, Neha. कि सब अलग होते हैं, सब गलत नहीं होते हैं, which simply means in English, everyone can be different, but not everyone can be wrong per se.
Yeah.
So that's something that should be taught to all the adults in this country, because as soon as we show some or the other opinion of ours, we share some or the other opinion of ours, everyone starts talking about you are anti-nationalist and you are this and that. Where's the freedom of speech? Where's everything gone? We don't know. So that's something that actually should be taught to each and every person, because there is so much intolerance around the world right now. If you go, so here's the thing. I actually, in one of the episodes, a couple of episodes ago on this podcast, I said that definitely all Black lives matter, but all other lives matter as well. I actually had put a post on Facebook in which a Dalit brother, Indian brother, who is from Dalit community, he was made to drink pee from someone's shoe, and it was so degrading. And I wrote in that post that if all the Black lives matter, don't this life matter? Don't this discrimination, this racism that is going on even in India, even in this age, does that matter or not? And I was showered with so much hatred on my email. Everyone was commenting so badly that I don't care about Black community's life. That's not what I said. I said Black community's life matters, as well as other lives also matter. Every human's life matter. Where's the humanity? So while we were saying that we might be thinking differently, but we are not always wrong. That's what I'm trying to say, that point is spot on from your side, but it has to be explained in a much better way by you to the people. So what do you mean broadly about that?
So, okay, fine. This is a technique I use a lot within my routine life, regular life. It can be like it used the way you said in the bigger picture, because in many posts you get a lot of hatred comments also,
Right.
and a lot of nice comments also.
Right.
It's just the viewpoints. It's
Right.
not. It can, who define right and wrong? Who can
Right.
say that this is?
Exactly.
You don't have a god to say that this is right and this is wrong. You can
Right.
never have a god to say that.
Right.
It's just the people who decide it.
Right.
So in small terms, if I say, if someone calls me and asks me, I had an argument, he's saying this, that to me, my husband is not listening to me, or my wife is, so I say, sab alag hote hain,
Right.
galat nahi hote.
Right.
Whenever I talk to my husband or in-laws or anyone, I don't fight.
Right.
When you use this line, sab alag, everyone is different and not wrong, you can't fight.
It neutralizes the whole thing.
Here. Exactly. So it neutralizes like that. Okay, fine. It's your point of view. Okay, there's a technique in Access Bar. You need to do it with me. So whenever we both are also talking and something I didn't like or something is not like according to what I feel. So I will say interesting point of view, your point of view.
All right. Okay.
And it neutralizes everything.
Right.
I don't have to put it down. I don't have to pile it up. I don't have to let it go. It just neutralizes.
Right.
So whenever some hatred comments come, you can just say interesting point of view, his point of view.
Oh, I have
And
stopped commenting. Actually, I have simply stopped commenting back, because I am pretty sure that there is a lot of hatred. Internet is really angry. I don't categorize these people as individuals. I categorize all the people as internet. And wherever you go, internet is very angry with you. No matter what you do, internet is always angry. This is the place where they don't have to face you. They are not going to be threatened by any legal actions because we don't know them. So they are just coming out and they are putting whatever they want to write on your post, on your comment section, and they're just getting away with it. So right now I'm just ignoring it. I'm simply ignoring it. There's so much to do in this world. There is so much.
No need to ignore, no need to pile up, no need to, it's just interesting point of view, your point. If you neutralize it, that point itself, it does not affect you at all.
Oh, I'm a kind of a person who has a lot of insomnia. So if you can look at my eyes, I cannot sleep too much. I will sleep like 5 or 6 hours. That's all I can do. And so my mind is always active. The reason for this insomnia is that I cannot shut off my mind very easily. And so I try to restrict a lot of data that I don't require in my mind. So rather than going into a fight or an argument, because I am a vicious arguer, when I start arguing, it does not stop. So basically what I try to do is I just ignore the whole thing altogether. That's better for me and my health. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, can you hear me? Yeah, Neha, we are back. So we had some technical glitch and we are back on air. So yeah, we were talking about the whole thing of my mind being very active. So I can't sleep much because my mind is so active. And so I restrict a lot of data that comes into my mind because I cannot shut off my mind so easily. And it actually worsens the case of insomnia in me. So yeah, ignoring actually helps me a lot. Ignoring helps me in this case. What can I say? Everyone has a different kind of personality, right?
Yeah, that's true. But I have one technique for a very active mind. People ask me that I think a lot. I cannot stop. I cannot one thing again and again and again. So if you have a play button that cannot, that makes you think so much, you also have a pause button. But just people don't know about it. So I just make them aware. As soon as, your brain is a very magical thing. If you're aware of it, you'll use it. It's simple as that. So whenever something comes up to me and it is bad for me, I know this thought. At least we know that this thought is bad for me. I should not think about it.
Right.
So whenever such thoughts come, I use my pause button. Because play button, it plays automatically. I don't have to press it.
Right.
But pause button, I have to press it.
Right.
So I press pause and go back. So some people, have a habit of using Facebook. Facebook said they go through designer dresses, they see Manish Malhotra dresses, and they see how can I earn so much? Will my dad give me so much money? I want to marry such, and it goes and goes and goes.
Right.
And whatever the work you were doing, everything is gone. So
All right.
install a pause button in your head. You just have to say pause.
Right.
Go back. You'll
Right.
go back. Again, your mind will take you there.
Right.
Again, you have to do it pause. You might need to do it 5,000 times, Abraham.
Right.
But trust me, get so habituated to it that if at all your mind as automatically play button, it starts, automatically pause will also start.
All right. Okay.
So
So
that's how
basically,
I have built my mind.
right. So that's basically you yourself planning a resistive power in yourself to stop whatever is coming to your mind, and trying to work with whatever information is coming to you and segregate it, whether you want it or not, should be your own option. That's what you're trying to say, right? Hello.
Exactly.
Yep.
There's a technical glitch.
Yeah, I
Now
think
it's
so.
fine.
There's some problem with that. So yeah, I mean, we were talking about how to pause these kind of. Hey, let me tell you, because I am such an active person, mentally really active, it has actually helped me with my profession. I am very good at processing legal cases. I'm very easily able to process a lot of litigations, a lot of problems that my clients have, because of my personal experiences, first and foremost, of problem solving. At the same time, I love studying law. And yeah, I have been doing that. So before my marriage, so I got married in 2017, and before that, my marriage, I was working like 17, 18 hours a day, because I was so obsessed with law. I'm super obsessed with law. And yeah, and so that was a way of distracting myself from all the other negative things that might be happening in life. At the same time, enjoying whatever I was doing and letting go of the whole insomnia thing. But I think after getting married, because of having a partner in life, it was very easy to get distracted from everything. And I was actually able to sleep much better after marriage. I think so. I am able to sleep much better after marriage. So yeah, I mean, that has a positive and a negative connotation to itself, that although there might be some super active minds out there, but at the same time, it can actually help you with your profession. How's that?
Definitely. Actually, I'm having a glitch in the internet, so I'm not able to hear you properly.
Oh boy, let me try to fix that. And we are back. So we are having a lot of technical problems right now with the internet connection over here. Neha, can you hear me now? Hello. Yeah.
Totally.
All right. Perfect. So Neha, tell listeners about some of your credentials, and are you working with some other foundation or anything? Just tell that.
So before marriage, I started NGO called Yuva Unstoppable in Surat,
All right. Okay.
and we were around 1,000 volunteers and 25 municipal schools adopted and everything was going well.
Mm-hmm.
We used to teach them. We used to teach volunteers, to create how to help people.
Right.
And then I got married and I got into Ahmedabad in 2016.
All right. Okay.
And now I have a family, husband and family. And yes, my husband is too much supportive in everything I do. So he's
nice.
like, I'm there.
Right.
So that gives me motivation to work more and more.
Right.
And, I've worked with schools like HB Kapadia,
Okay.
Rangoli School, Shanti
Mhm.
Juniors.
Right.
Then I've worked with corporates, fab getaways, and I've given a lot of speeching for like CA students, 200 CA students, and
Okay.
1,500 CA students, in fact, at a time.
All right.
About kindness and gratitude, and
Right.
I've taught them about communication, first impression.
Mm-hmm.
So I am doing a lot of webinars also right now with few group of women that is called that is there in Connect. Like in
All right.
Ahmedabad, there is a group called Connect. So
Okay.
with them, I'm doing some webinars.
Okay. Okay.
And I'm doing live sessions for people.
Mm-hmm.
So ultimately, I'm trying to work, and right now I'm just trying to work on mental health more. My
Okay.
focus is there more. Before,
Okay.
my focus was everywhere,
Right.
and I'm finding something to open up some online toll-free number
Mm-hmm.
where people can just call up and ask for help whenever they
Perfect.
need.
All
And
right.
I hope I will soon succeed on it. So I am trying to get involved people like us who really want to help the society and not
Right.
able to because
Right.
of some reason. So toll-free number is not a big deal for them to
Uh-huh.
help people.
Right.
And trust me, Abraham, if you can save one life,
Right.
whole life you'll be feeling good about it.
Okay.
So the factor, for me, life is about feeling good about it. If
Right.
I'm feeling good that I'm alive and I'm living, everything sets all right. So I've
Okay.
got good in-laws,
Right.
my in-law sister, my own home. So everywhere, I don't have a sad story, but I have a very beautiful story to tell you that yes, there are people who are there to help me and support
Right.
me in everything I do. And that's why I am able to reach to so many people, and that
Right.
makes me more stronger and stronger.
Oh, that's perfect. So, all the listeners who are interested in getting in touch with Neha Chaudhary, you can find her on Instagram. It's Neha Agarwal. I think the personal page that you have on Instagram is Neha Agarwal, right?
Facebook,
Hello.
yeah.
Yeah. So I was just asking. So on Instagram, it's Neha Agarwal, and on Facebook as well. Is it Neha Agarwal or it's Neha Chaudhary? How can they find you?
Oh, so it is interesting that in my work account it's Neha Chaudhary, but in my personal account it's Neha Agarwal. So you can go to Neha Chaudhary only.
All right.
Like both the pages, I have Neha Chaudhary Shades of
Uh,
Life
okay.
in
Okay.
Instagram also, and
On Facebook as well. So
yeah,
perfect. Take note of that. And uh, anyone who wants to volunteer, who wants to learn, who wants Neha to come in and counsel them, maybe in group or even individually, please get in touch with her. She has come on the show. The main reason why I brought her on the show was because she is doing a wonderful job and she is doing a very important service to the society. So I hope that you keep doing that, Neha. I hope all the success for you in the
thank
future, and I really hope that you get all the help you require and you can help as many people as possible. Thank you for doing this.
you so much, Abraham, for
Yeah.
spreading and making people aware about it.
Oh,
It's awareness is a key.
that's the reason actually I do this podcast, because there is so much negativity that is going around on the mainstream media, and the right things, the more important things about life are not coming out for people. So yeah, that's why I'm actually doing this podcast, and to bring people like you into the spotlight, and to bring people like you into the notice of the common people who actually require these things. So I'm trying to do that, and cause of you people like you who are coming on the show, I'm able to fulfill that objective. So thank you very much for your time. And
Again, you're also doing a big service to the society. So kudos
I'm
to
always
you.
I'm all good for the society. Actually, I always try to help the society. So yeah, so I'm going to wrap this podcast up today, and we will surely have another podcast, because I need to think of all the questions that I want to ask you again in the next episode, and I'll get back to
Sure.
you. All right. So till that time, this is me signing off, and ladies and gentlemen, this is Neha Agarwal. You can find her on Facebook and Instagram, and you can connect with her. So, Neha, thank you very much for coming on the show and for all the time that
Thank
you
you
have
so
given.
much for calling me. Thank you.
Yeah, bye bye.
Bye
And
bye.
I'll see you soon. Bye bye.
Sure.